Citizens, and welcome back to the Verse. Foundation Festival is just wrapping up, and I thought I would answer a question that somebody asked on my YouTube channel. This is something that's been asked multiple times, and it's actually a really hard question to answer. And this is from someone named Ergolaus, and it was, how much does it cost to play Star Citizen? And it is not an easy answer, because it can cost whatever you want it to cost, really. I mean, if you only want to play during the free flies, free to play. But if you want to actually get in the game and want to play and get yourself a game package, that answer becomes a little bit difficult. And so what I thought is I'm going to kind of quickly go over a little bit of that here, and then on top of that I'm going to then just get a game package in the Verse and show you what you get for like the basic starting game packages here. So really, if you want to play Star Citizen, free fly events happen all the time. I definitely say check it out, try it out for free, don't spend any money, and see what the game is like, whether it's in a position that you like at the moment, whether it's playable in a way that you enjoy, or if you're going to hold off and maybe try another free fly. Now, if you try free fly and you don't like the game, I say, give it even a year. Come back and see what it's like. So a lot of the focus in development has been on Squadron 42, and with that still not content complete, but feature complete, they are getting closer to a release, and once that's done, at least more focus will go into this game. Two separate games, but they are tied together. Squadron 42, single-player campaign game, very much like the old Wing Commander games, whereas the Star Citizen, online multiplayer game, and that is really what I'm going to talk about here. So when you're wanting to play it, if there's a free fly going on, take part in that. Every once in a while, there are things like referral bonuses, and there's one going on right now until tomorrow, I believe it's happening. So let's really look quick. So you can see here, referral bonus. So what this means is when you make your game package, when you make your game account, you need to use a referral code, whether it is one like the one on the screen here. If you click a link in the video below, that will actually incorporate into your game package. Or if you have a friend and you use their referral code, you can use that, and you always get a bonus by using referral code. So you and the other person can get a bonus, and usually it's just money. You get a little bit of extra money in game, but every once in a while there is referral bonus, like the Apoa Nox, which is this kind of hover bike here, this alien-looking hover bike. That is the referral bonus going on right now. When CitizenCon comes up, when 4.0 comes up, I can only assume there's going to be free flies for CitizenCon, and there's going to be a referral bonus for 4.0. That is my thought. I don't see why there wouldn't be. But how this one works is you use referral code when you make your account, because you cannot add it later. Now, when you become a backer, which is when you spend a minimum of $40 on your game package, that is when the referral bonus is applied. So if you made your account a month ago and you're getting it today, you're getting your game package today, you would get this Apoa Nox as a bonus. On top of that, if you make your account now and use referral code and you wait a week to get your game package, this will not apply. So it applies when you become a backer, but it does not. You need to apply the code when you make your account. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much. How this works too is you then get an Apoa Nox, which is added to your account. Now if I look here, Apoa Nox, if I go to ships here, I think they're worth about $40, but I could be wrong on that. So we look here. Not able to get it that way. So if you're ever wondering how much something's worth and you're not able to buy it to get it that way, you just go to ship upgrades. And ship upgrades here, we'll go Nox. Not showing up there. Weird. Nox. There we go. $45. Oh, that's actually a little bit more. So that means, let's say I get that referral bonus Nox. It is upgradable. So I could click on that And then, let's say I actually don't want a Nox. I don't want a hover bike. I don't care about that. But I've always wanted to get into salvage, and I wanted to get myself a Vulture. So the Vulture, currently, there is two options for the Vulture. Normally, this is $175 for the ship. Bearing in mind, this Nox was free. You can actually get it for $10 off as a war bond, which means you're paying with cash as opposed to store credit. And you're also getting $45 off because you're upgrading from a $45 value ship, meaning $175 Vulture, you'd only pay $120. That's how upgrades work. That's how CCUs work. The drawback is a referral bonus ship like the Nox has no real value. You can't melt it, so you can't recycle it and get credit for it. And you also then, if you upgrade to a Vulture, you can't melt it and get that money back. It's kind of locked in. I'm sure if you did something through customer service, they might be able to help you out, but then you would lose this. So the one good thing is this has lifetime insurance. That lifetime insurance is going to transfer over and carry over to any ship. So this ship that has only a few months insurance would actually have lifetime insurance now because you've upgraded from the Nox. So if it's a ship that you know absolutely is one you're going to want to keep, you could always take your referral bonus and upgrade it to something else. So that's what's kind of cool about that. Now we're going to go a little bit into game packages. So now we're on to how much does it cost to actually play Star Citizen. And we're not going to take into account the actual cost to have a PC that can run it reliably. Now currently the game is not super optimized, so RAM is your friend. Having an SSD is good. Video card, I'm running on a 1080 Ti that I bought on eBay years ago for a couple $100. Still selling for way more than that now. So I'm kind of happy with that card, but it doesn't have any ray tracing. It's not the newest generation of cards. That actually runs fine. The fact that I have a lot of RAM and an SSD is what makes this game run better, in my opinion. And so you need that. You can look at something on... where would it be? Telemetry? Yes. So you can kind of look at what people are running and what kind of like CPUs and GPUs tend to run well in the game, going on to development and telemetry here, and look at that. Again, free flies are awesome because you're playing for free and trying it out and seeing if the game is playable or not. A lot of times there are server issues when a patch first comes out as well. It makes it even harder to play. You need to then decide to get yourself a game package. So the game packages, there are two currently on sale here. These are on sale, I'm thinking, until tomorrow as part of the Foundation Fest. So not only would you be saving money on buying a game package, but you're also going to be getting that referral bonus. Once these are gone, there's just the basic one. Now, you can't just buy a ship. So if we look at like ships here, and if I look at something like Constellation, this is like over $300. I would never spend $300 on the ship. How much is it? $315. I would never spend $315 on this. The good thing about this game is that any ship that you want, you will be able to buy in game. Now, the issue is when a ship is first released, it's not available in game. It usually takes a couple patch cycles for it to be available in game. So you have to wait a little bit, but you also don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. Also, currently when you buy a ship in game, if there is a wipe, you lose that. Where if anything in your hangar, if we look at your hangar, it would show you what ships you have, and those would stay, including the referral bonus, after every wipe. You would start with those base game ships again. So what you need to play the game is a game package. So if I look at packages here, you can see the Aurora MR and the Mustang are the two cheapest at $45 US. These are the two starter ships that you can start with. There are ones that go up in price. You can start spending a lot of money in this game. You only need to spend the minimum to get into the game. Currently, this is on sale 10% off. This cutter is on sale 15% off. And the Nomad, which I didn't realize because it was on the main screen, 20% off. So you can get a Nomad for $76. You get the cutter for $51, and the Aurora for $40.50. $40.50 is technically the answer for the cheapest that Star Citizen ever is. It never goes on sale for less than this. So $40.50, that is the cheapest ever be. Normally $45. Now if I look at this, normally $45 you're getting yourself a ship, which in this case is the Mustang. Self-land hangar doesn't really make sense now. That'll be in the future. Starting money 1,000 UEC, but With a referral code, at the very least, you're getting more money to start out with. 3 months insurance doesn't currently matter because the insurance isn't really incorporated in the game until the game's full release. And Star Citizen digital download. No matter what you do, this is required in your game package. If you are not getting something that says Star Citizen digital download, which all the ones under game package do, you're not going to be able to play the game unless you spend, I think it's $1,000 US. Don't spend $1,000 on this game to just get into this game. I always say you can play this game by spending the least amount of money. Only spend what you're comfortable with because you can always play, you can always rent ships, you can always buy ships in game, you can always team with other people. $45, that's what you get. But if you remember here, 3 months insurance. Now, I'm going to go to the Aurora, which is kind of the same. This one's a little bit different ship, so the Mustang's more like combat and racing. This is more technically light cargo, although I wouldn't really call it a cargo ship. It's got a little interior, which I think is cool. It's got a bed, which I think is awesome. Same thing, digital download, 3 months insurance, starting money. If I look at now the Sail Aurora, so we have the normal Aurora, the Sail Aurora, the big two differences are here. 6 months insurance. It comes with an extra paint, so you do have the Aurora paint and you have the Foundation Festival paint, and you can switch those back and forth as much as you want. And 15,000 starting UEC, which honestly, none of the starting money is a lot of money. But by doing a few delivery missions, you're going to be able to make some money. But still, starting money comes in handy. So that is basically the answer to the question. How much does it cost to play Star Citizen? Currently, right now, $40.50. And if you get yourself a game package before the end of tomorrow, you get the referral bonus, and that referral bonus, the Apoa Nox, is also added to your account. Lifetime insurance, hover bike, kind of a cool thing. Honestly, I just bought this Cutter Foundation Festival Starter Pack, and the reason why I bought that is I'm going to be using that as part of a giveaway in an upcoming video, and so someone can win this. It'll be kind of the same way as the Aurora. It comes with a starting money, 6 months insurance, digital download, Foundation Festival paint. Now this paint is tied currently to the Cutter, so I won't have that paint when I get rid of the Cutter. But it's a cool ship to start out with. I think it's kind of interesting. I would recommend that. That's a pretty cool starting ship. So it is another, $10.50 over the price of the Aurora. But what you get for this versus this, especially with Pyro, the range of the ship for flying around, it's got more space interior. I think it's a cool, fun little starter ship and one of the best starters that they put out. The Nomad is pretty solid also, but you're starting to get into spending a lot of money on a game you might not be sure of. So I wouldn't get that if you're unsure. 100i used to be an awesome ship for flying around. It would basically fly around in Atmo forever and not really run out. It's a cool looking ship. It's a fast ship, but I find you can't really do a ton with it. The Pisces is pretty solid. The Titan's pretty solid. The Sulian is neat, but limited and hard to fly. Really hard to land. If you're doing combat, the Arrow's pretty cool, but I don't tend to do that. Then we got the Cutlass, $125. I would never spend more than that if you were ever thinking about getting this game. It's a lot of money, but a lot of games cost a lot of money. But really, start out with something small. See if you like the game. You can always upgrade these ships. You can always melt these ships and get store credit and buy something else with them later. So that's it. We're going to do a little bit of gameplay now. I'm going to go into the game, and I'm going to grab this Cutter, and we're just going to kind of check it out for a while and see what it's like. And we're in the game, more or less. Now, this is a new game package. I'm showing you exactly what it would be like to start out with the Cutter game package. So, got to make ourselves a character. We're going to do this kind of quick. Just kind of grab something. So, we could just choose 2 different characters here. You can kind of randomize somehow. I think. Can't you? Reset. No. Randomize all. There we go. Ooh. That is something. Review. Accept. Perfect. I love it. If you just kind of want to learn the basics, you could play the tutorial. It used to lock you into Area 18, but now the tutorial is wherever you start, which is, I think, an awesome change because A lot of people wanted the tutorial, but then you started where you might not want to start. Your home location is going to be locked to your account until the next patch where you restart again. So if you don't like where you started out, just know that you're going to be able to change it eventually. It's just you'll be locked there for a while. With the new patch coming up, the new hangars, I do have a video I just put out kind of going over the different locations in the different hangars. That will be your kind of like home base. It's going to be an even bigger choice. But we're going to skip the tutorial here. And we're going to select the system, Stanton. We can't go to Pyro quite yet. And location, Lorville, Orison, Air 18, New Babbage. Now, I would say not Orison. There's no ground there. Depending on what you want to do, Lorville's pretty center, and it's easy to land at. Air 18's harder to land at. New Babbage is kind of far from the edge, but it's also kind of a cool place. So I think I'm going to start with New Babbage here, and we're just going to play a game. And now, it says your location become your primary residence. Are you sure about this? Confirm. Once you hit confirm, you cannot change your mind, so just be aware of that. And we're just going to let the game load up. This is where having an SSD is handy, because if you're using a hard drive, like a physical hard drive, it takes so much longer to load. I'm also running OBS and some other stuff in the background, so this might take a little bit longer as well. One thing I didn't talk about, technically there's another cheaper way to play Star Citizen. I say, and I've always said this, enter the contest. You never know. You might win some ships. I've won some ships in the contest. If you win a ship in one of the Star Citizen contests, and a lot of them are not game-based. They're not like screenshot contests or gameplay contests. There are ones, there was just like the pumpkin carving contest where I won a Drake Caterpillar. I believe those also come with a game package if you win the contest. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that might be the case. Technically, you can play for free. The only drawback then is you haven't spent $40. You are not considered a backer. So things like things are given to accounts throughout the year, like Luminalia, stuff like that. I don't think those count for your account if you have not spent any money. But you could always just spend, $40 on a gift card and have that money as like ready to spend somewhere else. But it is potentially another way. Here we are, loading up. And we are in our hab at New Babbage. Ooh, it's nice and bright outside. Perfect. So you kind of look around here, and you tap Y, and that'll get you out of bed. Now, we can kind of see, I wish, oop, that's the wrong button, that's laying down. I wish the windows were a better height, because they are kind of low. But currently, this is like your little house, your little hab. Not really much to do here. You can kind of look at stuff. These are going to change soon. So these are like how you're going to get your stuff. Currently, if I hit I have my inventory, which right here has a placeholder of something. Don't have any clue what that thing is. I don't have any gear. But eventually, like, well, here. Can I pick this up? No. For some reason, that bottle is not there. But is there a coffee maker here? No cups. Okay. Nothing to pick up. Nothing to pick up here, but that's okay. We can look around. Oh, weird. I can grab this. There we go. So, grab this bottle. And I could hold F. Okay. I can't store it because I'm not actually wearing anything to store it. So I can just drag this inventory. Now it's in local inventory. So, what's going to change next? Oh, I just turned off global chat. F12 turns off global chat. What's going to happen next is you're going to have to go to one of these kiosks and you're going to have to access it. And that accessing it is going to give you access to what you have in your current inventory here. So that's the change in inventory coming, a step towards physicalization of everything. Same with habs. These are all currently temporary. So as soon as I walk out of this hab, I'm going to be unable to get back in. Now, I am not moving fast here. You can see if I hit F4 and hold F4 and mouse wheel, you can see this is how fast I'm walking. If I hold Z, I can kind of move my camera around as well. But I'm not moving fast. Now, if I mouse wheel up, now that is my default. So I'm not sprinting, not using shift. You can control your walk speed by using your mouse wheel to like set it. So we're going to tap F. eventually. Open up. And this is what I'm talking about with doors and servers. And I actually find sometimes New Babbage seems to be some of the worst, but it's not letting me out. That's not great. Oh, there we go. It opened. So, server issues have been an issue for a lot of people lately, as well as I always find, especially the trains and elevators and doors in New Babbage have been kind of wonky. So this is the city. That's the spaceport across there. If you want to zoom in like I'm doing, you hold down F and you can mouse wheel, and that changes your view, so you can kind of zoom in on things and look at things. So that's New Babbage. We can look at this side to the actual city side here. All the little buildings and stuff. We're in the nest, which is our habs. Now, our door locked behind us. We can no longer get into there. We currently do not own a hab. But we are going to own hangars soon. And you're going to be able to, like, stay at your hangar. So now we're trying again. If you're finding the elevator isn't working, you're finding the server really doesn't work well, what I would do right now, I'm going to exit to menu, and I'm going to server hop to a different server. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's probably the biggest tip for finding a better server, something that's running better. So back on here, Persistent Universe. I don't know. I mean, EU, Australia. It might be that a lot of people are playing in the US right now. Let's try Australia. Let's see if these servers are better. I'm going to reload. I'm going to start the game again. Sometimes I've actually found the servers are running really well. And lately, if you look on Spectrum, you'll notice that they're not. But that's alright. I haven't had the game-breaking bugs that I see a lot of people mention. To me, actually, things have been pretty smooth lately. This is probably the only issue I've had is, like, especially when you first start playing, when the server's still kind of, like, loading in different entities. That seems to be kind of the issue, but I find going to a server that might not have as many people on it tends to be better. I'm also not combat focused, so I'm not really worried about desync with ships as much as I am just kind of being able to have quicker reactions to the things that I'm working with. And considering now I'm going to be on a server that is basically opposite to where I am on the planet, it's still not bad, still playable. So we're going to let this load up, and then we're going to head back out of our hab. Back in New Babbage. Just to be a little bit quicker this time, someone left their trash on the floor. This is the issue with having not having your own personal hab, as you deal with everyone else's trash. No water bottle here, no cup here, but if I push I, you still have that bottle, even though I've gone to an Australian server as opposed to a US server. Look at how much faster that was. Much better. Your inventory does transfer over, so what you had in one location is still in that location. Same with ships. If you put stuff in your ship and you store it, the next time you take your ship out, you do have the stuff still in your ship in that location. I'm gonna go to the lobby here. Contract, come see me. Who is that? Is that Twitch? Can't recall, so let's look at that real quick. Contracts. Appointment. Yeah, it's Twitch. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that one right now, but I do have that there. Now I'm still moving kind of slow, so I'm gonna mouse wheel up. So you can see they have these little kiosks all over, so their solution for getting rid of the inventory that's global is by having those all over. Now, inventory has been going through many iterations. Originally, it was anywhere. Like, I could have stuff in one planet and pick it up somewhere else. Now you're having to move things from planet to planet. They also had where it was like at a station over a planet, you had access to the planet's inventory. Now it has to be exactly where you are. So I don't have access to things that are in my ship if I'm outside of my ship. I don't have access to things on a planet if I'm in a station. You have to be near to all your things, which I think is cool. A lot of people are not into that, but I am. Have to wait for the trains here. This is the kind of... Well, that's not the route. This is the route we have. So we are at the the commons here. We're just going to go to the space station. If we take the route the other way, this train over there, it will bring you eventually to where you want to go. But you can look at the signs, go to the spaceport here, that's where we're going. The Expo Center you can't really go to right now, but if there's an event on, like the Expo or I don't know if they ever had Invictus there, but if there was, it could happen there. You can go to that one. We're just waiting now for the train to move, and we're going to head across that ice lake. And we're going to do just something simple with our ship. Maybe we'll try cargo. So if I look right now, starting money, I have 25,000 UEC. So that 25,000 UEC was the money that I started with my referral bonus money added onto that. So 25,000 UEC, that's how much money I have. That's what you start out with. It's not much considering anything you buy can be fairly expensive. Currently, if I tried to rent a ship, I don't know what I could rent with that, but not much. But it's just starting. You could go buy yourself a multi-tool if you needed it, or a weapon or some food. But I would say don't bother with that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an extremely small trade run. I'm going to see if we can make some money doing some trading. Now, there are online tools. There's like the Sea Stone item finder is awesome for if you want to go find a specific upgrade for your ship or a weapon or clothing. It'll show you where to find it. And then there is SC Trade Tools for Star Citizen Trade Tools, and that helps you plan routes for trading, as well as like different missions you could take for trading. It kind of helps you out with that. And then there's Red Monster Gaming has cheat sheets for mining and salvage, where you'll find the best asteroids that you can mine for different sized asteroids, where you'll find salvage panels or different types of salvage for salvaging ships. It's pretty awesome. A lot of people put a lot of effort into tools that'll help you out. There's Urkel for figuring out how you should upgrade your ship. I don't tend to use that. You can buy some food and water here if you need it. You can also buy yourself a little plush Pico here, but you can buy some stuff there if you want it. If you have a ground vehicle, you go and you can pick it up at those terminals over there at the surface access, or you can get your ship. So we're going to go grab our ship here. Sorry, had a little bit of a coughing fit there. We're going to grab our ship. So your ship first starts out as it says deliver. If you have a ship that says deliver, it's like a claim, which is what you do when your ship is destroyed, but it takes 0 seconds. You just click deliver, request delivery, and now your ship is at location. So you can get any ship delivered pretty much instantly to any location. We have our cutter here. Its focus is a starter, cargo 4, 1 crew. So we're going to go to hangar 4, going to grab that. Going to go into here. Hangar 4, this is all going to change with personalized hangars. I don't know what it's going to look like, but you'll be going to your personalized hangar. And with the change in personalized hangar, you're just going to go to your hangar first, and you're going to call your ship there. But here we are, we're in the AeroView hangar. So when you're choosing your starting location, this is kind of the style of New Babbage, whereas a place like Lorville has a different style as well. Now this also has the Foundation Festival paint already on it. I totally forgot. But if you're in here, click on Vehicles. We select our Drake Cutter, but we can't right now because it's already taken out. You can remove that paint and have the standard paint on here. But this is the Foundation Festival paint. I haven't seen this yet. Ooh, I like this. That looks cool. It's kind of like brushed aluminum look. Kind of a flat teal. I like the Foundation Fest color on the Star Runner, and so this is kind of similar. Yeah. So the Cutter's a cool little ship. If you've never seen the Cutter before, I'll kind of give you a quick tour because it's a small ship. Sounds great as it opens up. It's got a cargo hold here, and the cargo hold has a little cargo grid here for Force U, but you can actually fit more in if you have stuff placed over here. It's also got the components here, so if you want to switch out components physically, you can. In this interior part here, we have our shower, washroom, got a bed. This will be where the fire extinguishers, the new upcoming fire extinguishers, and then we get into the pilot seat. So it's got 3 little compartments. I think that's cool. And now if we hit F4 and hold Z, we can like check out the exterior of the ship by moving our mouse around. Ooh, it's got a kind of cool like reflective top, so the color is just on maybe the bottom or just on the sides. Hard to say. We're gonna hit right Alt R, power ourselves up, and now if I hit K, that puts us in the VTOL mode. You don't need to. Like honestly, if I put it this way and I hold space, the thing will take off anyways, but I do like the look of the VTOL. It's kind of cool. Now, if I hit N, folds in your landing gear. And now we're all ready to go. I think that's awesome. So, we are ready to fly. We're going to request with the Alt-N a launch. We can take off. Now, there is also a switch somewhere. There. And we got little, like, blast shields on the side windows. I think that's kind of cool. A little feature. It doesn't really do anything, but it is kind of a cool feature. And we are now off and flying. Now, we're flying over the, towards the city. And our max speed right now is about 117 meters per second. But if we tap, or hold B, I should say, we go into navigation mode, like the flight mode. Once it transfers over, you can see now our max speed, without boosting, is climbing to about 233, 235, and that's based on altitude. So if we're up in space, it's actually a lot faster. You'll also notice right here, there's like, this is our current speed, this is like our maximum. This is where I'm set, this box, I'll explain that in a second, and there's a green bar here. What that green bar means, now if I mouse wheel down, that box moves. That's my maximum speed. That's the maximum that it's letting me fly. It's like a limiter. If you keep it kind of in the green, you have the most control. It doesn't mean you're pushing your engines too hard that it's hurting you. It's just meaning that you have less control and you have to fight your turning when you're going a bit faster. Mouse wheel up sets that maximum speed, so you're doing that. Now I'm going to head up into space. And once I'm pointed pretty much straight up, I'm going to hold shift. And that's giving me a boost. And we just want to get up. Our altitude right now is at about 3.5 kilometers. We're going to get to about 11, and we'll be into space. Again, while I'm doing this, you can see we're leaving the city behind. There's the spaceport over there we left. That building that's kind of right at the base of my ship there is kind of like a triangle. That was the HABs you start out with. There is, I almost said Port Tressler. Bajini Point, I think it is. If I hit V. No, that's not going to work. If I hit this. Oh, it is Port Tressler. I can never remember, since I don't come to New Babbage, I was forgetting what the name of the place is, but we are currently almost 20 kilometers in space. And I'm going to actually set a new route. So, I'm going to hit F2. And if I go on here, and I think it's Shubin Mining Facility 18. Yeah. I'm going to set a route there. Now that removes all the other markers except for this one here. So, if I click on here, am I too close? Yeah. So I'm not really where I'm supposed to be yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fly further away from the planet. I'm going to find an orbital marker to go to. And this is what I don't like about the new UIs, that they've kind of removed some of the markers unless you're pointing right at them. So what's this one? Nope, that's on the planet's surface. Oh, there we go. Orbital marker 1. I'm going to fly there. And now we're going to try setting our route to Shubin 18 again. There we go. And now I should be able to jump there. So we're going to set our route to Shubin Mining Facility 18. And off we go once we've calibrated. Perfect. We're going to head there, see if we have enough money to do a little bit of trading. Should be fun. Should make some profit. So once this jump is initiated, you can stop it, but pretty much it's on autopilot. It stops you at a specific distance. So if you're flying to a planet, you don't have to worry about smashing into the planet. It'll stop you before you get there. And then there's a bit of a cooldown. So if we look on our screen here, in the top corner here, there's going to be a little bit of a cooldown once we stop. Should be really quick. There you are. So this cooldown here, we can't jump again until that cooldown happens. But we are right here. I've switched over to nav flight mode. We're going to just kind of come in. If you are in quantum mode, it gives you a distance to the facility, which is about 13 kilometers. But I just like the reduced clutter. And I do know where it is, even if this ship wasn't sitting here, because there is a ship sitting there. I would at least be able to kind of go by the different landmarks and just kind of know where I'm pointed. I'm trying to get right here, and that's where we're going to be landing. So the ships are marked up. They're about 7 kilometers away now. We're just going to go nice and slow and head in there. Now, there was a little bit of an issue. I did make a mistake, and I'm going to kind of explain that when we get to the land here. But I did do a little bit of a whoopsie. Not in gameplay as much as just in planning and execution of this video. I went to the space station on our way up, and I decided it's always good to go there and reset your spawn. So that way if something happens, you're able to respawn at that location and not have to go through the trains to get back to where you're going. So as a new player, it is a little bit easier. However, I was showing you how the respawn works. I did 2 things. One is I blew up my ship so that I'd respawn at the station, which worked perfectly. I forgot to take off my undersuit and the handgun I had, so I did lose that. On top of that, I forgot to record on OBS. So you're kind of missing out here. We got like a cutlass here. We got a constellation. We have a freelancer, but a different colored one. A freelancer Max, it looks like over there. And I can't really tell what this ship is. Is this another cutter? It looks like a cutter. So we're going to kind of land in. Well, it's kind of a cutter and broken bits of a cutter? I can't really tell. We're going to put our landing gear down. Now, we could land on this landing pad, but we could also just land over here on the land, which is nearby. You don't need to be on the landing pads here. You could be wherever you want. So we're going to land over here. Landing pads are good if you need to refuel or if you need to repair, but we don't need to do that. So we're going to land here, but I'll show you what I mean. I'm now wearing the white undersuit, the default kind of freebie undersuit, because I wasn't thinking, and my suit was lost while demonstrating without recording how to operate the respawn. So go to a space station, head to the clinic, look for the insurance, and that's how you can respawn. Now we do, like I said, there's a freelancer Max there. There's a cutlass here. I want to go look at this broken cutter. There is a constellation there. Oh, there's one of the Ursa medevacs, which I've never actually really checked out. Yeah, this is the broken cutter. Something definitely happened here. Now, is there any... No, there's no inventory in that. Yeah, so someone landed really hard. Upside down freelancer. That's why it looks kind of weird. I was wondering about the color. Yeah, alright. So we're going to do 2 things here. We're going to try to do some trading. which is at this location with the yellow lights, but we're also going to do some looting. And the looting will be the first thing I do. That way, if something happens, if someone shows up here and rams my ship, I don't lose anything because I haven't spent anything yet. So we're going to go, you're looking for basically 4 buildings here. The one that we're going to go to last, a Platinum Bay building, which is over there. I recognize the lights. And 2 more of these kind of buildings here. One is like a hab and one is storage, I think. So we're going to go see what's in here. Anything to loot. Start out with this one here. They still haven't fixed the lights in here. They're not very bright. Okay, so nothing to loot in this section at the moment. Nothing there. There might not be any loot, but it never hurts to take a look. Nothing there. And something here. Perfect. So, we're going to get close to it. And it's not giving me an option to loot, which tells me that it's either glitchy or nothing is lootable there. So that's fine. We're going to move on to the next location. And hopefully there will be some loot crates in there. If there's nothing lootable here, it's not the end of the world, but it's just a good way when you first start out to get some gear, get some food, get a multi-tool, and at the same time make a little bit of money. If you find jackets or clothing, grab that and sell it. It sells for a lot of money. Novikov helmets, which are used with the Novikov undersuit in order to survive the cold here, although it's only minus 14, which is not bad at all. I've been outside and much worse. We're going to head into here. And here's another one. This one is lootable. See, there's a little F on it. So I'm going to tap F on here. Now, I don't like this loot screen. So I'm going to click on this arrow up here. And I'm just going to drag this stuff over. So we now have 3 armor sets, like 3 suits of armor, which we're going to be able to sell and make some money. Nothing else to loot here. Sometimes there's stuff around there. Sometimes there's stuff on a countertop here. But, you know, we've made a couple grand just by selling those arms, I think. They should be about like 400 each. Maybe less. Depends on the armor. We're going to go to that Platinum Bay that was around the back here. Now, Platinum Bay, you can spawn some ships like the Pisces there, the hover quads, the land vehicles. Like if you get yourself a rock, you can spawn them on there. But you can't spawn most ships on there. At least ones that have jump drives. I think Pisces might be one of the only ones. Okay, there is a loot crate here, but it has been opened. And there's some bottles on the ground, which are probably full. But an easy way to check is just to mouse over them like this. 0% means there's nothing on there, so we're just going to drop it back on the ground. We don't need that. Yeah, not really a lot of loot. Normally, I'm finding a couple crates in every building, but we're just not lucking out this time. That's all right. We have one last building to go to, and that's the one we're going to actually do our trading at as well. So we're going to go through here. Now, the building that we trade at is always the one with the yellow lights on like the stand in front of it. Which in this one is going to be right here. So you see it's got these yellow lights right here. Easy to find. Now what you could do is try to log out in your ship in the bed and log back in and re-loot this place. As long as you keep putting stuff into local inventory, it's perfectly safe there until you want to take it out. I don't know how this is going to work with the changes in physicalized inventory. And look at that. No loot crates at all. So yeah. Hey. So we didn't really get much here, but that's okay. We're going to hit the commodity trader here. Select the location. We're going to choose our cutter. Gold out of stock, but it's only 5,000 per unit. We can carry 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang out here for about 15 minutes.
Everything good?
Maybe less. Every once in a while I'll check this. And gold is a big seller, and that's why you're finding all these ships here. The reason why this ship here, this Taurus is here, somebody's buying gold, bed logging, server hopping, going to a new location, and hoping that they find gold again. Viable, takes a lot of time. It's kind of a wasted effort, I think. But for a little ship like the cutter, which you can fill up pretty easily, all you got to do is just every once in a while just keep checking in until it says gold is in stock. I mean, I could get some agricultural supplies or aluminum, but gold is the one we're going to make some money on.
Hey there.
As you can see, popular place. No gold here, but we got someone else kind of waiting for gold as well. So they've now taken off because they realize the chances of this working for them is not great. So I don't know where they're going, but they've taken off. But we're still waiting. It's only been like 2 minutes.
You all right?
Still waiting for gold. Hopefully soon we're going to get some. And there we are. Gold is available. Look at 265 SU. I only need like 4. So we're going to go to choose the cutter. Choose gold. Maximum. Why is this not working? Can I do it this way? There you go. 4 SU. 23,601. We do have enough. That will take almost all our money. We now have 4 SU gold. So, we've used up almost all our money. We're now going to head back to our ship. We've risked it all. And there's one very important thing I need to do before I leave. So, we're going to get into our ship here. Once we're in our ship. And this is why also you close your ship up. Don't leave your ramp open, because while I was waiting, someone could have come in and stolen my ship. So we're gonna close it up. We're gonna hit I. Currently, this is how inventory works. I'm gonna switch all these things over to my ship. I'm not gonna leave them here. I always forget to do that. I loot a bunch of stuff and then I run away and it's not there. If you ever forget where things are, you can go to assets. And so if we look on Microtech here, new Babbage, if I open that up, you can see the cruise dark that we put in there right at the beginning of the video. That's where it is, so you can find stuff that way. We're going to go into our... Oh, I didn't really point out, but there's our stuff. There's our gold in these boxes here. If we wanted to, we had a tractor beam, you could move this stuff over out of your cargo grid and try to buy more and double it. But the problem is then you're going to have to take it out of your ship and put it back in because you can't get around it. But we're okay like this. Turn our engines back on. And we're just going to head up into space. We're not going to worry about navigating to the station as much as we're just going to get into space first. So we're going to get out of the way. So you can see we're leaving mining facility 18 behind. And the reason why we're getting out of this area is that way we're not near any new arriving ships. We don't want to get attacked. You could also go into your combat mode. That is putting our shields up. You can see our shields are now up. Gives us a little bit more protection. Once we're at about 11 kilometers up, I think on this planet it's 11. It's different for every planet. We're going to be able to jump to our location. Where we're going to jump to is New Babbage. We're going to go to New Babbage. Now, there's 2 ways you can trade. I'm going to show you the slightly faster way, but not necessarily the safer way. Now that we are high enough, I'm going to go into quantum mode, and you could swing around trying to find location. And this is why I'm not happy with the new changes to how things work, is because like you have to kind of move around and look for these markers to show up. They used to have the markers on the edge, and you'd find them a lot easier, know where you're going to. But at least now I know where I want to go to, which is New Babbage. And it is right there. The symbols also used to be easier to differentiate. You'd have like a home plate, that'd be where the main city was. You had like a square as a space station. A hexagon was a different point of interest. A circle was a planet. A circle with a smaller circle was the moon. I don't like the new UI. They've made it too clean. and simple by removing so much information that used to be handy. So, when we come over to the city, it is still bright out, which is awesome. Got some cloud cover, but we have the city, we have that ice lake, and we have this railway track that goes across the ice lake here. This leads to the space station, so that's how you find the space station. Here's the city. But we don't want to go there. We want to actually go right here. This is where we're going to go. This is not as safe because... I'm going to put our shields back on. Because you can get attacked, you can get rammed, you can get boarded. If you open your ramp, someone can run in. Definitely not as safe as landing into a space station. You land into a space station, you land in the hangar, and you store your ship. You are now safe. Your ship is safe, all your cargo is safe. Out here, if there's like some sort of like server crash, you might actually lose your cargo. We might lose all our money, and we are down to 1,381 UEC, space bucks. Not a lot of money. So we are taking a bit of a risk, but we are doing something that's a bit faster. So we're going to land beside the commons, and instead of having to land in the space station and travel by train and then go through a different location and get to where we want to go, we're just going to land right there. Now, with the changes with cargo and cargo elevators, I honestly don't know if this is going to work that much longer. It's quite possible that pretty soon, if I want to sell stuff, I'm going to have to sell it by putting it into a cargo elevator and then selling it from that inventory. We're unsure though. Might not be the case. But right now we have one ship parked down there, so if you don't know where to go, there's always ships parked down. So we have one right here. But you're looking for these kind of 4 round circular areas here. And we're going to actually be going into this building right here. We're going to land on the ice lake nearby. Now, hopefully, server desync doesn't cause my ship to explode. That is not entirely out of the realm of possibility, so just be aware that this is a much bigger risk to take it this way. So, in we go. We're going to land on the ice lake nearby. We just have to be within range of the city, and this should work. So, a lot of ships on the ground over here as well. I don't know what all those ships are doing. We're going to slow down as we get closer, just because I don't want to run into desync issues. And I am, if you recall, running on an Australian server, which is not going to be helping me at all. I'm trying to remember where the entrance is, because it could be here. That could be the entrance. But it also could be here. No, I think it is this one. I think it's right there. So we're going to go land right here. We could land right up close like these people did. In fact, maybe we'll do that. So we're going to put our landing gear down. Yeah, this is where we need to go. This is where ground vehicles can come out. So you can actually pull out like a hover bike or like a rover or something, and it'll come out of those garage doors there. So someone's got an upside down, looks like a, is that a 100i or is that a Titan? Can't really tell. Another cutter parked right here. So let's park right near this cutter and land. Turn off our engines. And we're having a bit of lag, which is never good. There we go. We're going to get out of the ship if the door's open. Open. There we go. Now, after this, I might head back to the US servers. The problem is if you leave and exit a US server without going to a different one, it does tend to bring you back to the same server. So the fact that I'm operating from around the planet is probably not helping any. We're going to get in here. We're going to open this. We're going to wait for our doors to decide they want to open. There we go. And most importantly, we're going to close this up. Because what could happen is someone could run into your ship and fly it away while you're heading to the terminals. If that happens, they just need to get out of the armistice zone. They can unload your cargo and put it into somewhere else. No one wants that. So we're now inside the trade area. This is where you go to like the garage to take out vehicles. You can take out the vehicles there. We're going to go to the elevators. These elevators are operating pretty quickly, and we're going to go to the commons. Now, I always get this wrong. I think I got to go right, but it might be left. Let me look at this. Commons, promenade. Going this way, going right. Now, if you take the train to get here, the train is down here, and you come out that direction. I'm going to go to planetary services, which I believe are this way. Oh no, we're going to the, not planetary services. That's for like Had Night, stuff like that. We're going to the trade district, which is, we could have went through the center, but right here, that's Omega Pro. There we go. So when we first came through, we were right across. We could have just come to the center, but I forgot what terminal I was going for. Trade service here. Let sell. So we're going to choose our cutter. And our gold. We're going to sell that. 29,093. So we've made ourselves almost 5 grand. And I forgot to do something really important. So I'm going to head back to our ship. You don't need to see me run all the way back, but the shortcut is we're going to go straight through the center here, and that's going to get us back to the commons area that we started in. Alright, we're back outside to our ship. Now, I'm going to do something that I just said not to do, which is I'm going to leave my ship unlocked after this because I'm not going to take it back to the spaceport and I'm not going to store it because the claim time in the ship is like 3 minutes, so it doesn't take long at all. What I forgot to do is take these 3 items out of there, and that's why I came back. So take your items and transfer them to local at the same time. Again, I don't know how this is going to change when the item kiosks are introduced in the game, but now there's absolutely nothing in the ship. It's 3 minutes to claim. If you have a larger ship like the Constellation or the Hercules or Carrack, running back to it and storing it in the spaceport might be a good idea because otherwise you're going to have to spend a long time claiming it. But with a small ship like that, claiming it is not a big deal. So I'm just going to leave it there. I left it open if someone really wants to take it out for a spin. Totally fine because I'm going to be logging off after this and just starting to edit this film. So I'm not going to be heading back out. But if I wanted to, knowing there's gold back at that location, as long as no one else is trading there, I could just head back and do another mining run, another like 5 grand, which admittedly not much, but for a 4 SU trade run, it's actually pretty good. So we're going to do it differently this time. Instead of going up to where you would trade for like Hadnite and Dolovine and like the Copian Horns, we're actually just going to take the correct way, which is straight through the center here. That's how you get to that location. We're not going to go there, though. We have to find a location to sell the armor that we looted when we were doing our trading. So the last thing we need to do is we need to sell our items, our armor. So we're going to go to this place here, Shubin Interstellar. Go to this kiosk here. We're going to click sell. Now, there is something I noticed about this, which kind of surprised me. It says the cutter here. I could have left the stuff in the cutter and just sold it. I didn't have to actually go back and empty it. I didn't think that was the case with smaller items. I only thought it was cargo, but apparently that is the case. Now, I said we'd make a couple grand. We got 1,600 here and about another 200 each for those, so not bad. So just click sell, quick sell, quick sell. And if we look now, we started with 25,000 and we're already up to 33,267. Not bad at all for just a quick little kind of demo of starting out. So I'm going to be playing around with this ship for a while. I'm going to be doing some things to make some money, a little bit more than 5,000 a run cargo. We're going to do something else to make some good money, do some deliveries, just have some fun, maybe even do a little bit of racing. We are definitely not going to be doing any exercise. No, thank you. At all. So until next time, hopefully this answers the one simple question, which is how much does Star Citizen cost, which is, who knows? And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you all soon in the verse. Goodbye, everybody.